I'm Delisha Milton-Jones, fifth year as a head coach here at Old Dominion University, and this is Kelsey Thompson to my left and Simone Cunningham to my right. Tonight's game was a battle. It was physical, tough, it was rough, but it was the type of game that we're accustomed to playing. The only issue with the game is one player can have a monster game, but you can't have two. Can't have two players having a monster game on you like that. Had we at least slowed one of them down, it could have been the difference in the ball game. But they have a great rhythm and momentum going about them, and they're playing well, and they're the team that got hot at the right moment. And it's unfortunate that our season has come to a screeching halt. But when you really look back at everything that we've been through as a program with our players, I really have to commend them for still showing up every day. Because it's not easy when you have lifing the way that it was for us starting way back in the summertime. And they continue to show up every day and fight the good fight and show their love for the game, show their appreciation for self and the skills that they have. They're tremendous students and beautiful people, and we were still able to manage to get 17 wins out of a season that really could have been 12 wins. I thought that we still had a great opportunity to win the game today, but there were instances within the game and definitely within the fourth quarter where we just had breakdowns. There were a lack of execution. We weren't getting the ball where it needed to go. The ball wasn't in the hand of the individuals that make the best decisions for us, and it cost us greatly. And they capitalized off of every opportunity. They made the free throws when it mattered the most. They got to the rim pretty much at will. And if they went, they were getting and ones or they were getting fouls. We had Brenda Fontana, anchor on the inside for us, foul out. And then, of course, India Buford fouled out late in the fourth because we just had to foul. But outside of that, Georgia State played a great game. They played tough, and they were the best team today.
Okay, thank you, Coach. We'll open up for questions.
Drew Sharberry for ODU Sports. Coach, 3 times you've played them this year. You split the regular season. Each game has been close. You led for all but a minute and a half today. Can you just talk about how close these games have been with them?
Yeah, so it's always been a battle every time we play Georgia State. They're just a tough team. They're always going to play their style, and they're going to hang their hat on it. And when you have the broad shoulders of Tolliver, who's just going to get in there and be relentless in terms of attacking the rim, she's going to put that type of pressure on you all night long. And her presence garners respect, whether it's from the opponent, whether it's from the defensive schemes you have at play, and even from the officials in terms of how they see and call the game for a player that is that aggressive. They really put the officials on high alert to blow the whistle probably more often than they should or even want to. But it was a battle every single time. They got the best of us 2 out of those 3 times, and we just have to just take it on the chin and regroup for next year.
You had the ball there late. You call a timeout to advance. What was the play call trying to get the ball in?
So we wanted to get the ball inside in the paint. We called a play that we like to call where we want to punch it in. If we could have gotten it in from the out of bounds, it would have been wonderful. But they were in a zone, and they were trying to really just cover areas on the floor because our shooting ability and our ability to attack on top of our inside presence bothered them. So they zoned up, and they were able to kind of bust the play up a little bit, but we still ended up getting a decent look. I wanted the ball to be in Simone Cunningham's hands, and we just couldn't find the opportunity that we were looking for in that moment. It's tough in those situations. Shooters that you normally could depend on to shoot the ball when they get it either weren't confident or weren't looking at the rim first for us. Simone did a great job tonight of being a presence in the paint, but just couldn't connect as often as we are accustomed to her doing so. Kelsey put in a very powerful effort for us in terms of putting her on different people to guard, getting us going offensively whenever she could. You know, all of these things really helped us to stay in a game. Kelsey got to the free throw line today, and she hit the majority of them. But if I'm being honest, we shot ourselves in the foot today. We made some mistakes. Kelsey's technical, Cameron Hill's offensive foul, or the plethora of turnovers that we had in the most critical moments. To have 17 turnovers against a team that doesn't really pressure you like that, it really lends itself to questioning what were we doing with the ball and why did we have so many empty possessions. Normally, we end up with more possessions than our opponents, but they did tonight over us. So you have to tip your hat off, like I stated earlier, to Georgia State.
Mike Langston, PartyVoterU.com. This was an intense game back and forth throughout. The offense never seemed to get comfortable. What was it that they were doing that kind of led to that?
Would you like me to answer? Anyone? Okay. So, in my opinion, I felt like a little bit of nerves were at play, you know, for some of our players, you know, a little jittery. You know, you can notice these small things happen in a game when a pass is made. Is someone catching it cleanly or are they bobbling it? You can see some players, they're trying to already dribble before they have secured the ball, and that can kind of break the rhythm of what they're trying to do within their attack, or whether it's an opportunity for them to make the play for someone else. It just has you off rhythm, and that's what I felt was going on for the majority of the game, but we were still able to control the game. It was just a matter of us just settling down, breathing, and leaning back into the moment, and had we done that, I feel like we could have gotten a 10-point lead that would have turned into a 15-point lead, and it would be a different story at this moment.
And then a question from Zoom for both the players. You know, obviously not the ending and the goal when you come to Pensacola, but just talk a little bit about, you know, the season's been a grind and that was reflected in the game, and just kind of your thoughts and your personal growth throughout the year.
You want to go first? Let me go first. I think we came in. We had a good team. We had a lot of good components to make up a good team. Our biggest thing was discipline throughout the season, just being able to execute at the right times with the right people, and I feel like that's what showed up today. Even with the game being a grind and the whole season being a grind, like Coach D said, we came out with 17 wins. It's still a pretty good season, but just getting here, you know, nobody wants to just go home after the first game. You're trying to make it to the end. Two out of our starting 5 people that had been scoring, me and EB, we just weren't able to connect with the basket today like we wanted to. But I think even with that being said, if we would have took pride in what we really win games based off of, which is our defense, and not allowed the 2 players, Tolliver and Henderson, to get off like they did, and I think it would have been a different ball game. But just overall, I'm still proud of our team overall. Like I said, not the ending that we wanted. You know, I'm a senior. So it's just a bittersweet moment.
Overall this season, I mean, we just been dealing with adapting to change, whether it's from ourselves or from our opponents. And I mean, it showed in conference play. We went 9-9, so the good, literally that record showed how we were. One day good and one day could lose. And I remember our assistant coach saying, like, being 9-9 shows that you're capable of winning, but it also shows that you're capable of losing. And that shows our emotions too, and what we went through throughout the season. We're capable of doing good and capable of doing bad. And it's hard to come into conference when you have 50% of your emotions every day, because you don't know which side you're going to get. And that's something we dealt with throughout the season. But then again, I mean, we had 14 different people. Different. Not you have 2 people that kind of act the same. We have 14 different people with different stories. And out of the 14, 10 of us was transferred. So just coming in ODU this year, just trying to find that bond. And as soon as you think you got it, something else could pop up, and you gotta overcome that and overcome that. So we was overcoming a lot of stuff, but with overcoming stuff, you got games Thursday, Saturday. So as much as we was growing personally and as a team, we still got opponents putting stuff against us. So when you gotta overcome yourself and the opponents, you gotta choose one you want to deal with. And today I feel like we was overcoming ourselves. It wasn't props to Georgia State, Tulliver and Henderson. Those are two good people, and they put us in positions to put them on the line and get to the rack and paint touches. But then again, we ODU too. Like, we didn't got to the paint. We didn't hit big shots, and it was just, were we gonna do that today? Were we not? And then, as Coach D was saying, Pensacola different. Them catch and shoot threes might not be there. You might have to create and swing, and then it came. So I think we was just a little stagnant in that. Maybe a catch and shoot shot that you was used to, it wasn't there, but you got something else. And that's just what March is. March is to make you so uncomfortable that you think you don't have it, but you really do. And I just think if we would have got to the paint a little bit more, put pressure on them, because they are a 4-guard, 1 big, and that's it team. And I think that's what we wanted to do, put pressure on them guards to guard our post and then play inside. But when you don't touch that paint and turn the ball over 17 times, I mean, that was difficult for us. But we was a sisterhood, and hopefully it didn't show as players, but it'll show as adults. So maybe one day we'll work together. One day that person will help someone, future child, and it'll all come back. But it was an opportunity that we wish we would have rolled on, but it don't end like this. We still human. We still go see each other every day, stay and connect. So I love this team.
Mike Langston, ParkVoting.com. This is for Kelsey. So Moan and EB, seniors, always giving their complete effort. What is it like to have leaders like this on the team?
It's good. I'ma miss them. Even Brenda. You don't see no stretch for her shooting like that and can go to the paint like that. And if you do, they at the Power 5 level. And we had her. And they had her for 3 years, and I had her for 1. And just in this 1 year, like, I was able to do stuff just from what she was doing. I'm able to get to the basket because she posting. I'm able to get easier shots because Evie dropping to the rim, Mom getting rebounds. So it's very sweet. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, 2 years ago, you would be a freshman and it'd fly by. And you the upper class, and it's sad to see them go, but it's realistic that I got 1 more year left too. So it's just, you really have to take every opportunity of what it is, because I won't get to play with an India Buford ever again. Even if it's a decent player come next year, they not her. They not her. She a stat sheet filler. And even Mom playing with them, it's just different. I mean, you can win something, but with certain people, it meant more. And for this team, it would have meant the world for this team right here. Even what goes on next year, it's just when you know you got something, with certain people, it hit different. And those are the certain people that I was riding with.